Welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right in, shall we? If you've ever thought of tax collection as this slow, paper-heavy, bureaucratic nightmare, well, you are definitely not alone. For decades, that was basically the reality for revenue authorities all over the world. But today, we're looking at a completely fascinating transformation. We're going to see how South Africa's tax authority, SARS, totally reinvented itself. We are talking about a full-blown leap from manual, siloed processes straight into the age of artificial intelligence. And to be clear, it's not just a minor IT upgrade, it's a total technological revolution that is fundamentally rewriting how citizens interact with their government. So let's explore exactly how a tax agency goes from shuffling massive stacks of paper to deploying cutting-edge machine learning. Right off the bat, we have to talk about this historic milestone SARS recently announced. They hit a staggering R2 trillion in net revenue collection for the 2025 to 2026 financial year. 2 trillion. Now, you might be wondering, so what does this all mean? Well, historically, when a country hits a massive revenue spike like that, it's usually because of a temporary commodity windfall, like a sudden boom in mining or oil. But the data here tells a completely different story. This absolutely wasn't a lucky economic break. It was actually the direct result of a massive structural improvement in how tax is administered. The system simply became incredibly, ruthlessly efficient at collecting what was actually owed. And to really put that scale into perspective, just look at these numbers. Since 1997, SARS has collected a grand total of R25.1 trillion. But here's the wild part. Nearly half of that entire amount, R11.5 trillion, was gathered in just the last 7 years. Think about that for a second. Almost half of the entire tax revenue collected over a span of nearly 3 decades was pulled in during just the last 7 years. This isn't just a sign of a growing economy. This is the direct yield of what they call a smart, modern SARS. It literally proves that when you upgrade the technology at the foundation, the return on investment is absolutely astronomical. Now, obviously, you don't just wake up one morning and start using AI to collect trillions of rand. This whole thing happened in very distinct strategic phases. Phase 1, which they called Sayaka, or Modernization 1.0, was born back in the internet era. That was all about breaking down those old government silos and just standardizing the basic processes. Then we moved into Modernization 2.0 during the smartphone boom. This was all about taking physical, in-person taxpayer experiences and moving them online, basically turning paper forms into PDFs and web portals. But now we've arrived at the current frontier, Modernization 3.0, the age of AI. And the philosophy completely shifts here. It's no longer just about doing digital tasks. It's about fundamentally being digital at the very core of the organization. So what does Modernization 3.0 actually look like? Well, it completely reimagines the whole system. We're not talking about a simple software patch. This is a brand new foundation built on 8 generational initiatives. But 2 massive changes really stand out here. First up is the introduction of a unique digital identity for every single taxpayer. That means the system knows exactly who you are across the entire financial spectrum, instantly. Secondly, there's the launch of an instant payment system built in direct partnership with the Reserve Bank. That integration ensures that money moves seamlessly and securely in real time. They are fundamentally rewiring the architecture of the economy's financial backbone. To truly wrap your head around what being digital means, consider this absolutely mind-blowing comparison. In the old era, a complex manual company tax assessment could easily take 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years of back and forth, audits, lost paperwork, and endless waiting. It was a massive drag on productivity. But today, in the AI era, by utilizing advanced data science and machine learning, that exact same assessment can be completed in under 5 seconds. Let that sink in. From 4 years to under 5 seconds. That is the kind of exponential efficiency gain that entirely redefines what a government agency can even do.
And when it comes to hunting fraud, AI is basically acting as a high-speed digital detective. It systematically scans unimaginably vast amounts of data in real time. It doesn't need to sleep, it doesn't get tired, and it definitely doesn't get overwhelmed. It's programmed to instantly flag unusual income patterns that human auditors would almost certainly miss. So for example, if there's a sudden, totally unexplained jump in business deductions that strays from industry norms, boom, the AI spots it immediately. It completely takes the guesswork out of auditing and targets anomalies with literal laser precision.
Which brings us to a really telling statistic: 60%. By the year 2023, over 60% of all SARS audits were already entirely AI-driven. This is a total game changer for everyone involved. For the tax authority, obviously, it maximizes the resources. But for honest businesses, this is huge.
Because AI handles the heavy lifting, it vastly speeds up resolutions. Instead of your business being tied up in some lengthy, frustrating manual audit, the AI clears the compliant files quickly. This drastically reduces downtime and lets business owners get back to doing what they actually do best.
Now, it's really easy to view artificial intelligence simply as an enforcer, right? But actually, scratch that. AI isn't just a cop here, it's also acting as a coach. SARS is using a fascinating concept called agentic AI. What this means is they use predictive models that don't just react when you miss a deadline, they actually anticipate it. The system actively monitors your filing status, and if it looks like you're at risk of noncompliance, it takes agency. It will literally send you a proactive reminder or a prompt to help you course correct before any penalties even kick in. It's an intelligent system designed to help you stay compliant rather than just whacking you with a fine when you fail. And the real-world results of this predictive, helpful approach are just incredible because the system can pull your digital identity, cross-reference your income, and intelligently apply the tax code. Last year alone, over 6 million taxpayers were automatically assessed. 6 million! That translates to a completely frictionless experience where millions of citizens required zero manual filing. If they looked at their auto-assessment and were happy with the results, they did absolutely nothing. The system just took care of the whole shebang. That right there is the definition of removing friction from our civic duties. All of this incredible technology is pointing toward a very specific, ultimate vision for the year 2030, and it's summed up perfectly by this powerful quote, "Tax just happens." Think about how profound that is. The goal isn't to make you better at doing your taxes. The goal is to make it so you don't even have to do them at all. By deeply integrating AI, data science, and instant payments, SARS is creating an environment where voluntary compliance is the absolute easiest, most invisible path for everyday citizens. It just seamlessly fades into the background of your daily financial life. So as we look at this transition to a fully embedded AI ecosystem, it reveals a really distinct dual nature to the technology. On one hand, compliance becomes totally effortless for the honest person. But on the other hand, dodging taxes becomes incredibly difficult and exponentially more expensive. The digital net is cast so wide and the analytics are so sharp that trying to hide money in the shadows is becoming practically impossible. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. We've seen the leap from dusty paper files to sub-5-second AI assessments. We've seen agentic AI predicting behavior and seamlessly auto-assessing millions of people. So as we hurtle toward this 2030 vision where the tax system becomes fully automated, interconnected, and highly predictive, will AI make dodging taxes completely impossible? It's a fascinating technological arms race between evasion and algorithmic detection, and it is fundamentally reshaping the global economy right before our eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the numbers and the tech. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.